8 rappers who switched up their persona. Too rich for regular. Hip-hop artists don't often change their persona, but it does happen from time to time. Maybe they're trying to sell more records, stay relevant, or reach more of a mainstream audience. So which rappers have changed their identity completely? This is Too Rich for Regular, from rap to the streets and everything in between. But before we get started, if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and join Too Rich for Regular. We're uploading all the time, so don't miss out. As usual, we save the crazy for the ending, so stick around. This is 8 rappers who switched up their persona. Number 8. 21 Savage. 21 Savage has transformed his persona subtly, perhaps so subtly that you haven't even noticed. When Savage came onto the scene in 2014, he was associated with a subset of the Bloods. He had a tough persona that no one wanted to mess with. However, back in 2013, someone did, and in a drug deal gone wrong, Savage was shot 6 times, losing his best friend in the shootout. Savage was infamous for being cocky, arrogant, and ignorant to the point that he had no qualms with publicly dating Kylie Jenner while she was in a relationship with Tyga. 21 Savage previously would shamelessly endorse gang activity and violence. However, he thought better of it when he started to rise to fame with his album Savage Mode. Although his music focuses on his experiences growing up as a gang member, his poverty-stricken upbringing has motivated Savage to focus on trying to give back to his community. Savage hosts an annual back-to-school drive, where he hands out backpacks full of school supplies, financial literacy toolkits, face masks, and laptops. With all that 21 Savage has done for his community, this is one transformation we can all get behind. Number 7. Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly got his stage name due to his rapid-fire flow, a mixture of high-emphasis lyrics and complex rhymes. When MGK first broke through, he was called a lyrical miracle rapper, or an artist that is unnecessarily wordy and abstract. MGK became known for spitting irrelevant and cringy rhymes to appear technically skilled. With his music reduced to WrestleMania walk-in meme tracks and his relevancy fading, Kelly needed to do 2 things: reinvent himself and make himself a household name. It started with the world's most obviously manufactured beef between the mostly unknown at the time MGK and Eminem, resulting in diss tracks back and forth. Rap Devil and the Killshot Reply did exactly what they'd hoped. It was free promo for Eminem's Kamikaze album that dropped a month later and took MGK out of obscurity. MGK progressively moved to a more melodic style of music, completely abandoning his old persona in order to gain mainstream acceptance. With collabs with Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker and vocalist Youngblood, it seems MGK has traded in crunk for pop-punk. Number 6. Snoop Dogg. Today, Snoop's image and public perception is laid-back, relaxed, and friendly. 30 years ago was another story. Snoop was very well known to Californian police due to his long criminal record starting from 1990. In 1993, when he was accused, charged, and later acquitted of murder accessory charges, his notorious bad boy image only intensified. You'd think finding success, money, and fame would keep D.O.G. out of trouble, but Snoop had a tendency to get caught with firearms and substances through the 90s and early 2000s. Despite this, the Dogfather did eventually mellow out in his older age, morphing into the harmless stoner we all know and identify with. He even became friends with designer Martha Stewart, and the two host the Potluck Dinner Party cooking show together. It's obvious how much Snoop has changed his persona. Much of his wild criminal days are over, and he's now more like rap's fun uncle rather than a hardened gangbanger. Number 5. Joe Budden. Anyone who's an OG fan of hip-hop will know Joe Budden and his hit single, Pump It Up. After his one-hit wonder, he failed to make any more hits and gained further mainstream attention. His second album that came 5 years later was also not a big hit. It sold a mere 1,100 copies in its first week. Unfortunately for Joe, he was never able to replicate his first album's success and became known as a one-hit wonder. After his music career fizzled out, Budden frequently took to social media to express his frustrations, criticize his peers, as well as the new wave of hip-hop created by the SoundCloud era. In 2015, Budden started to vent his opinions, frustrations, and annoyances on an unnamed podcast, which eventually became known as the Joe Budden Podcast. Budden tapped into a niche market, which blends hip-hop news, reviews, and commentary. While he lost his voice in rap, Budden found new popularity in commentary, and it's now considered the #1 hip-hop podcast today. Number 4. Chance the Rapper. When Chance the Rapper entered the music scene in 2012, he was known as the industry's unhinged little brother, unpredictable, and presumably high most of the time. This unfortunately translated into his music, with his first two mixtapes bearing the brunt of his depressed, often wasted mind. But in 2015, Chance became a father to his first little girl, and parenthood enabled him to become mature and responsible. Distancing himself from drugs, Chance found religion, and in 2016, this about-face turned out to be his saving grace. His feature on Kanye West's song Ultralight Beam showed the world the new, deeply religious Chance the Rapper, paving the way for his 2016 album Coloring Book, which was a return to the charts for the misunderstood rapper. Many of his Day One fans felt as though this shift in persona was disingenuous and betrayed his old morals. This was felt with his Big Day album in 2019, which was poorly received. Fans felt as though the record focused on shallow subjects, with simplistic and lazy rhymes. Sadly, Chance had to cancel his Big Day tour following dwindling popularity and poor ticket sales. Number 3. Young Thug. When Young Thug made his way into the spotlight, he made sure he would make a lasting impression. He was notoriously stubborn and arrogant. On multiple occasions, Thug refused to comply with demands from his managers and publicist. He even ghosted the production crew on the set of his own music video. Young Thug is known for his provocative views on gender and a proclivity for dressing in women's clothing, as well as insisting that he's an extraterrestrial. Young Thug was an enigma in the rap scene, but with his 2013 album Jeffrey and several features on other hit songs under his belt, he started to become more experimental, integrating melodic falsettos and oscillating vocals. Today's Thug is far more professional now that he's well established, and he's considered one of the most influential rappers in the industry at the moment, which isn't so bad for someone who was originally thought to be a troll. Number 2. Gucci Mane. Trap pioneer Gucci Mane had a reputation for being volatile, as well as being a huge fan of lean. Between 2005 to 2014, Gucci consistently found himself in and out of both the courtroom and the jail cell, with a 2-year sentence in 2014, his longest stint yet. Those 2 years gave Gucci Mane time to reflect on his life, as well as detox from his heavy lean use, which was a game changer. The mental fog had cleared, and he realized without intervention he would lose the empire he had built up over the years. Upon his release, Gucci was a brand new man. He acted and looked completely different. He got in shape and was well spoken. It was such an unbelievable 180 that his fans accused him of being a clone. Since Gucci's release, he hasn't been in trouble with the law and has released 4 albums. Gucci has obviously turned his life around, and the industry admires him for it. He is far more respected for it, not only by his fans, but by other artists too. Number 1. J. Cole. J. Cole wasn't always Jermaine Lamar Cole's stage name. He originally began his career as Blaza and later changed it to Therapist. In Cole's earlier work, he would rap about materialistic things like wealth, status, and designer clothes. As J. Cole's career started to take off, he felt compelled to become more authentic because his current persona didn't reflect his true self. Over time, as Cole's persona and music altered, he settled into the music and hip-hop industry and is now seen as rap's big brother. You can imagine the kind of money Cole is sitting on, but he's chosen to live a modest life, building a small and humble home in North Carolina. In fact, Jermaine is now supporting impoverished communities and is spreading his wealth amongst his friends, family, and community. So there you have it, 8 rappers who switched up their persona. Let us know in the comments if we missed any rappers off this list. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, or both. You're watching Too Rich for Regular, and we'll see you next time.